Alright, so yeah, I just got this one in the middle. It's the Lagom P64. Same burrs as the DF64s. I mean the SSP ones. In this one I have the Unimodal burrs, which I did have in the DF64 before. I resold that one, and I still have another DF64 with SSP Espresso burrs and the stock burrs. This on the left is the Cafetech Monolith Flat Titan Flat. It's got 75mm LM light medium burrs, shuriken burrs, and both these guys have variable RPM. Actually, I'm gonna figure out, this one's set to right now 700, which is faster than I normally do, but it does take forever to grind. This one seems to be a little faster so far. I'm gonna look up what the numbers on the gauge mean. It doesn't tell you the exact RPM, it just has, 1 to 9 or something like that. So let's see if we can get them equivalent. So they're both 700 RPM, and we'll do a speed and sound test. And then this thing also has 64. This is 64mm burrs. This is also 64. So that one has 75. It should be faster, but it's not. Just very different burr design, so it works differently. But it does have good grind quality. Okay, so it actually says it recommends, I think, between 7 and 9, which is towards the top end of the range, speed range, which is much faster than this thing can probably even go, the Monolith. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start it at 6, and we're going to see how it does, how loud it is. It's still, I think, 950 RPM versus the Monolith, which is set to 7. I think the max this thing can go is 800. And the slowest, this one can go like a ridiculous 20 RPM. This one can go down to, I think, 200, or maybe it was 100. I gotta check the manual again. But yeah, it's very quiet when it's empty, and pretty quiet when it's grinding. I think they're probably about the same. But so I put in 18 grams of I added these from the DF64. This dosing cup I'm probably not even going to use, but I've been using it for just testing it out and seasoning the burrs a little bit. I don't know if you need to. Yeah, so let's start with this one. So I'm going to try and keep it maybe the same distance. Change distance. And I forgot to reset the scale, so not sure how much we got out. Let's see. So here we have 255.32. 255.32. Should probably write that down. But let's see if we can get more retention out. By doing a little pump. I found sometimes you can get half a gram out. Or we can cheat and use this, which they say not to use. Yeah, it doesn't really work that well in this. Oops, almost knocked it off. Alright, let's see if anything's changed. So we got, the scale takes a little while to figure out, but only 0.2 of a gram, 0.22, not bad. I'll figure out the whole amount. Once I figure out how much this heavy cup weighs, we can deduct this amount and find out how much coffee we actually got out. I put in 18 grams or very close to 18 grams for all of these grinders. Next time I'll remember to tare it. All right, so it turns out this cup weighs 237.63 or 64. Based on the numbers we got out before, we only had 17.89 or 17.9-ish out. So there's 0.1 retention, which is really good. Now let's try the Monolith. So I think that cup will work. I find with this guy on top, it is slightly quieter, but because we didn't put anything on top of that, let's try it this way. Oh, I should also note from my experiments with the DF64s and different burrs in those, the burrs that are in this one, the Unimodal multi-purpose burrs, those ones are the loudest, highest pitched ones. So they do give annoying kind of whine to them, and I think it's not as bad in that one as it was in the DF64s. It was a little higher pitched, probably because of the higher RPM. I think DF64 is about 1200 RPM, and I think this one could go up to 1200. But right now we have it on like 850. So let's try this one at 700 RPM. And, hopefully this one's a little messy sometimes. Let's see how it works with this. Haven't tried it with this dosing cup. So back here, where I was before. Down here with this. It kind of silences it a bit. Cool thing is, whoops, you can control the RPM while it's grinding. Usually it will tell you. So the thing I don't like about this guy is it takes forever to finish grinding, although now it seems pretty good, it's done. It takes forever to finish grinding sometimes, and the motor has a high-pitched noise, which I don't like. But you know what, I'll show you now. I have another video where I show this. So that was 700 RPM. I'm gonna run it at 640, and I'm gonna go down all the way. And you know what, I'm gonna turn it off, and then we're gonna keep going further down. So this wheel, got too much stuff in the way. Too many grinders. All right. So we're gonna go all the way down to maybe 200 and we'll try it. All right, 199. So that is pretty quiet. And even if I throw in some coffee, it's gonna be nice and kind of just relaxing kind of crunches. But it's gonna take forever to grind. So here is 100 RPM. Now this is 50 RPM. You could probably hear it a little bit. I can't see the burrs. Not in this guy. Maybe we'll do another test just to show you how it looks at 50 RPM. I did do one coffee at really low RPM and it jammed up, so I don't want that to happen again. Oops, I was about to grab, throw in some more coffee at low RPM, but I forgot we didn't weigh our, the scale keeps resetting, so now for the Monolith we have 254.68. So I'm going to do a little calculation based on our cup weight and figure that out. Alright, so basically I did the calculation and also just dumped the coffee out, and we only got 17 out of 18. So I forgot a step that you got to do with this guy. So this has a nice removable, oh yeah, look at that. So that's where that extra gram is. And usually I'll just pump the bellows or I'll go like that. this button over there goes full speed, so it goes from 50 RPM, which it currently is, and then it goes boom to 800. So sometimes that will help when there's just a couple little fragments that don't want to get ground at the end. This guy's what we need to blow out just what's in the chute. Sometimes I'll just go like that, and then it will fall. And I think it already has. There was a bunch of coffee in there. So without using the bellows, I did not pump it. We got this much out, which is, damn it, it's yeah, it was 17 before. It was showing minus 17 before, now it's showing minus 16. So yeah, we got that extra gram out. It should be minus 18. It's kind of backwards, but I think it makes sense. All right, so I'm just gonna throw in 4.1. This time I got it taired on both of them. 4.1 grams, and I'm gonna have the grinder running. Actually, yeah, I need to use 2 hands for this, or actually. Okay, so we got the beans. We need something to catch the beans. So grinder's running. It's pretty quiet. Not very practical, but it is coming out and it's super quiet. You know what? I'm happy with how this dosing cup works on the Monolith. With the plastic one, static is all over the place. This thing seems to work, although it's not really for attaching to a portafilter. It'd be nice if they had it so that it fits. Actually, I haven't even tried it, but that's what the manual said. It doesn't fit with the portafilter. Well, it just said it's for this guy. You're supposed to just go like this. Actually, I haven't tried it with the rubber things. It's actually too tight. These rubber things probably won't last very long like this. I liked it better without the rubber ones. And our Monolith is finally done grinding its, what was that, like 4 grams we put in? I'm gonna use the turbo to see if we get anything else out. Oh yeah. So yeah, there was still coffee in there. If we would have just left it at super low RPM, that wouldn't have worked. It's not very practical. Let's see if I can get, so that time I used the bellows and just tap the magnetic chute while it's running. You don't want to get your finger in there. And now make sure I turn it off, because you can't tell if it's so low RPM. Sometimes you can't even tell if it's on or off. There is still a slight buzz from the motor. So this one should remember the weight. This little cheap scale just keeps turning itself off. Yeah, I put in 4 and we got out 3.8. I could probably get out more, but that's close enough. We put in 4.1, right? Yeah, so there's a little, not much in the chute actually. So that's the Monolith. Now for this guy, it should be the loudest, but also the fastest. So just with the motor, nothing grinding, it's pretty loud, buzzy. Oh, it's already done. So I'm not going to do the bellows yet. Once again, forgot to tear this cup. So the one thing I do notice, yeah, it's a little warm. I didn't use this one like all day. I put in maybe 20 grams earlier from this guy, and the grams were not warm at all. So we're gonna reset this, I'm gonna dump it out and see how much we got. Yeah, I'm gonna pause it, so you're gonna have to trust me. But I'm guessing we put in 18 grams, I'm guessing it's like 16 and a half or 17 max. It did better than I thought. We got 17.8 or minus 17.8. Yeah, so that was 17.8 that was in there. This thing, you gotta beat it up a little, and then yeah, it's clogged again. So we got 17.7, was it 17.8 a second ago? The scale is, you know, for the 0.1, sometimes it's off, but that's why I like this. It's actually probably more accurate, but it does turn off and it takes so much longer to figure out what weight something is. So yeah, we didn't get much out. I don't think the bellows is working right now. It usually isn't. It's just not powerful enough. These two kind of don't really need the bellows, although yeah, you just gotta knock the chute out for this little guy. It's usually not a whole gram in there. I don't know. Yeah, just today, bad example. But yeah, usually, you know, maybe it's like 0.4 of a gram. But yeah, that was interesting. I was wondering where that extra gram went. It was pretty much all in that chute. So yeah, that's the audio levels and how quick they grind and some things, features, interesting things, hopefully. And hopefully I didn't put everyone to sleep. All right, that's it.